Hey, welcome back. This is Slam and Sam, taking a look at a game from a few nights ago, playing the IPM1. It is the second Abrams in the American tech tree. It is got the same gun as before, but it has slightly better armor in the turret and the hull. It also has an extended turret for additional stowage space for the crew. That doesn't affect it in game, but it was a big improvement in real life. These things in real life were used in the 1991 Gulf War in the first invasion of Iraq, not the second one though. So, functionally it is very similar to the first Abrams. However, it is slightly heavier, but what's really noticeable right now is that I am completely stock. I have no upgrades, so if I get hit, I have no way of repairing any damage unless I go to a cap point, or if I get helped by an ally, but this is War Thunder and no one ever does that, so that's unlikely. Also, if I get set on fire, I'm going to end up burning out. So as I'm coming around here, I know this is a good flanking position. I'm very careful not to get hit, and I see that someone's smoked up there, so I'm going to be very careful. I also see that they're capturing A, which is directly to my side, and I just got shot at by Leopard 2A4, and he also machine gunned me. So as I'm pulling up here, I'm trying to assess the situation, seeing where people are. And I see he tries to get a cheeky shot up on me, but he's smart enough that he doesn't push it because he saw that I saw him. So, see that hold to request help to repair. That would mean that one of my allies would have to come by and repair for me, but it's just my machine gun, so I really don't care. I start pushing up, but he sees me, so I back off. Once again, I do not want any critical damage. But he's pulling back, he's dealing with someone else, but he still looks over here, so I make sure I don't want to get hit. I push up, put a shot in, take his driver track, he immediately looks over, but I'm back in cover by the time he's looking around. The bushes also saved me because it's very difficult to get an accurate shot on someone. I'm looking around, I see that T-55 AM, and I'm really tempted to try to shoot it. Then I saw the T-64A, he just smoked, but I know he's not moving because his engine's out, so basically he just blinded himself, but everyone else can see him. I'm moving around here, making sure to check to see if there's no one else around, and I'm going to take a shot at him here. I see him poking out, one shot straight into the carousel ammo rack of those Soviet T-Series tanks, and he's gone. So right now I'm going to try to move up to take his position, but first I'm going to put a shot into, or at least I was going to put a shot, but he pulled into cover. But you'll see in just a sec, he just smoked, and he's going to pull back, but I'm going to shoot him then. But I hear an engine sound over there, so I look, but it's pretty easy to just take him out when he's not looking at you. I'm being very careful because once again I do not want to get hit. I start hearing this helicopter. Now it turns out to be friendly, but I didn't know that at the time, so I'm looking around a little bit. I'm also looking to see if I can get some long range shots in. I see this AMX-30, put a shot in, kill his commander, and take out his track. So he's looking over here now. So I functionally distracted him for my team. And there I see it was an AH-1Z. I don't know what he was doing so close to the battlefield, but yeah. We ended up getting him. Now as I push up here, I am going to see that Leopard from beforehand. But, yeah. Well, first, once again, it's a Raketen-Jagdpanzer 2 Hot. I don't know what he was doing in this battle rating because he's a much lower vehicle. So now that he's been killed, I'm very careful of anyone that's pushing up because they will most likely have seen me. You'll see this happens right here. I go in to shoot, but he takes out my gunner and commander. But my buddy there, the XM1 Chrysler, goes in and takes him out easily. That was a massive oversight on my part, and it almost got me killed. Thankfully he didn't damage my gun breech. Otherwise this would have been game over for me. So I see there's artillery coming down. I'm not too worried about it because artillery does nothing in this game. but I decide I'm gonna try to look in to push towards A, because it hasn't been that long, but there is a very real possibility that we could lose based on tickets. I see the chevron marked up there, and I'm trying to get a look, see through the trees, and I see it's the AMX30 from before. Put a shot in, and unfortunately I don't do much damage, but it causes him to back up into a very easy line of fire for me, because he thought he'd gotten shot from the front. And yeah, I take out his driver, and he gets dispatched very quickly after that. So I'm trying to call out for my allies to attack A, because I know otherwise we're going to lose. And then I see this T-64A. I had suspected that he was someone coming back for revenge, so I was really careful not to make too much sound with my engine, because the Abrams gas turbine is very loud, especially compared to the diesels of the rest of the tanks. And I'm constantly thinking he's going to look up here and come after us, but then he just shoots, never looks up here once, and then put one shot into the side of him, take out the carousel ammo rack, and at this point I decide I'm going to push up along the side of this hill to try to cover A for our advancing teammates. You can see on the map there's a tank destroyer pushing into A right now, and I see another chevron, so I'm going to try to take him out for my buddy. It's an AMX30 again. Take out most of his crew. He starts pushing forward, but yeah, he gets taken care of by the Type 16. It's the Japanese wheeled tank destroyer. So I'm continuing to look around. I recognize that smoke up there was from the AMX30, but I'm constantly worried about other threats. At this point, the Type 16 isn't on A yet, but he's about to be. And I see someone shot, but it was a friendly. So I'm going to push up to investigate to see what it was. And I see it's that same AMX30 from earlier. He had just respawned again. And that time I get the shot right after someone else to get the kill instead of the assist. And then I see a rocket fired, and my guess is whatever it's going to be is on the reload. But since their spawn is right in there, I do not want to push in. So you'll see I'm going to start backing up a little bit. And I didn't see it right there at the time, but I see it now. And for some reason there's someone playing a P47. Does nothing in that run. But I see it's an AMX30 Acra. It's the one that can shoot ATGMs and high explosive rockets out of its barrel. Fairly dangerous, but no tank's dangerous when it just goes charging out into the open into a firing line. So at the time I'm looking at, see I have 6 kills, and this is a really great game, especially considering it's not upgraded at all. And then I see there's some kind of SPAA in our spawn that just took out the P47 just about. You see he dropped his bomb so we could shed some weight. So I'm going to push in to try to take out whatever it was. I see it's an R3 T20. It's a very low tier SPAA, but it could still be fairly dangerous if it gets around your sides. And then I see this AMX30 DCA, and that could be very dangerous, but luckily I was able to get down into this defilade before it could shoot into my sides. At the same time, I know I have better armor than him, than he has penetration, so I look up, I put one over in the top, and I take out the 2 French boys in this turret. So at this point I'm expecting some kind of revenge killing, so I started to pull back, but then I saw I have a friendly going further into their spawn, so I'm probably not going to be the first one to get shot. And so right at this moment I'm trying to get behind their spawn so that way they're not looking at me when they first spawn. And you'll see in just a sec, I take fire from this BMP1 up there. It's the German one, the Spatzpanzer BMP1, and I hull break him through the turret. That was pure luck that I didn't die right there, but I'll still take it. So at this point, I mean, the game is functionally over, but there's still a little bit of cleanup to do. See, I'm just pushing up here. Now that I have a position that I'm comfortable with, I'm going to turn my hull towards them, just so that I don't get hit. And in just a second, you're going to see that R3 that shot down the P-47 from earlier. He's going to reveal himself behind a rock when the plane flies over again. I know that there's something over there, because if there wasn't, the game would be over at this point. So I see him shooting it, and then I pull forward. The R3 is on fire, and I put a shot through, taking out its engine, causing it to hull break. So yeah. And so with that, I got the 9 kills. This is a highly successful game for a stock tank. Thankfully, with the recent up tiers of some of the really high-end vehicles, these normal 10.0s are actually able to function properly without being constantly sucked up. And just a little love tap for teammate there. So the result, first place in the team, 9 ground kills and 2 assists, 7,346 RP and 65,000 silver lines. I get the parts modification and I get fire prevention equipment, which is really good. And that's that. Tell me if you liked it. Thanks. Bye.